Hey guys, it's Abby here, and this is my song Little Landmines. I opened that book, it floated down to the sheets. That photo booth picture of you kissing me. Should've hit delete, but I hit play. And I hear those words I thought that I'd erase. Just when I start forgetting, thinking I'm safe and sound. Don't think about where I'm stepping. You can still take me down. Yeah, you've got me dancing around what you left me out. Just under the surface, just satisfied when I'm right on the edge of finally fine. You're still breaking my heart, oh my mind, still tripping on you and your little landmines. Boom, 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 my world goes boom, boom, boom. My heart goes boom, boom, boom. You're still breaking my heart, boom, my mind, still tripping on you and your little landmines. I started that car, it was already halfway through. That Kings of Leon song we made out to, yeah. Well, I turned it off, too late by then. Suddenly I feel you break my heart again. Just when I start forgetting, thinking I'm safe and sound. So think about where I'm stepping. You can still take me down. Yeah, you've got me dancing around what you left me on. Just under the surface, just satisfied when I'm right on the edge of finally fine. You're still breaking my heart, boom, my mind still tripping on you and your little landmines. Boom, 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 my world goes boom, boom, boom. My heart goes boom, boom, boom. You're still breaking my heart, boom, my mind still tripping on you and your little landmines.
Hey guys, this is Hannah and I'm here with Abby, who you just saw perform her song Little Landmines. So Abby, you are from Texas, which is kind of a big place for country music. Have you always been a fan?
Oh yes, I grew up, it was just like embedded in the culture. I just grew up all around it.
I bet. So how did you get into music, like just as a kid?
So my parents, I was like a very high energy kid.
Okay.
And I mean, not that I just like constantly wanted to play, more that I just like constantly wanted to talk. Like I'm just a very talkative person. And so they kind of just threw me into like a lot of activities, maybe like to help me figure out what I wanted to do, but also like maybe to like try and get me to like shut up. So I started doing musical theater when I was really young, along with sports. Sports did not stick. That's not my field of expertise. But yeah, I started doing musical theater. I loved performing, loved being the center of attention. So being an artist was
like the
thing to be. Yeah, so I grew up just really loving poetry and writing a lot of poetry. And obviously when I started getting into music, that just kind of made sense to start songwriting. And so I started writing songs about fights with my friends in like 3rd grade. And then it kind of just grew.
Right, it's nice, like the subject material evolves over the years, definitely.
Yes, definitely.
So what made you decide to go country music?
I mean, for me, I think coming from like a writer's standpoint, I've just always appreciated the storytelling aspect of country. I kind of describe country music as like a movie and a song. Yeah. So in that stance, like I've always just really connected with it, and it's always felt like home to me. I grew up around country, so that really just kind of was, there wasn't really any question about it.
Definitely. So, but before living in Nashville, you moved to LA, right?
Yes, yeah, I lived in LA for a bit.
How was that? How was that different than Nashville and Texas?
Yeah, I mean, it was wildly different, but it was good. I think it really opened me to new cultures, and you know, it's such a big city, and my parents were kind of like crazy in letting me choose. Like they were like, "Where do you want to go?" And I was like, "New York." They're like, "No," and I was like, "LA." They're like, "Okay." And so I had always just had like these big city dreams. I'd always wanted to live in a bigger city, and
I think a lot of that was to like start, living out a dream that I had since I was younger. And I mean, I moved when I was 11, so it's not like I was 18 or anything. I was young. And I definitely think it attributed to so much of my musical taste and I mean, my just overall like personality, I think is wildly wildly, I keep saying wildly attributed, but.
You'll have it. But what would you kind of describe your sound as? Do you think LA helped shape that into kind of a country pop kind of thing?
Oh, for sure. I mean, even before I moved to LA, I was listening to a lot of pop. I've always been like very curious. I've always just wanted to listen to like as much music as possible.
Yeah.
I think like the beautiful thing about music is like, sure, I can classify myself under like a genre, but at the same time, it's so much fun to like hear like a random like R&B song and take, inspiration from it. I think that's so cool. So I definitely think, my music has pop influences. I'll never deny that. I love pop music, so it's always something I want to incorporate because it's just as much me as country is. So yeah, I think it's definitely like a hybrid of everything that kind of inspires me.
For sure. So who would you say are some of your musical influences?
I mean, I grew up listening to Shania and Faith, and I like grew up not only in music, but just influences overall. I grew up with a lot of like strong females around. So I definitely just kind of aspired to be like them, like these like beautiful, strong, confident women, not only that I was listening to, but that I was surrounded by. Really just like, I wanted to be that, and I want to serve that for somebody else.
Definitely. I'm getting a very Spice Girls like girl power moment.
Yes,
They just
always
went to her.
the best.
Yes.
I know. I want to go see them.
Oh my God, I wish they're coming to America.
I know.
So let's talk about Little Landmines. Mm-hmm. So what can you kind of tell us about that song?
Yeah, Little Landmines, I didn't write it, but when I heard it, it was actually like a straight up pop song.
Really?
Yeah, it was. And I just kind of had this like moment where I was like, let's like take this and make this like a super cool, like it's already a good pop song, let's like make it an even better country song. Yeah. And so we just like played with it and sonically just really like made up sounds and just made it super creative. It was such a creative process. And so the song itself is just like, it's a breakup song, but it's super infectious and just like you kind of want to dance to it. And so I thought it was kind of like a nice positive twist on a breakup song.
Definitely. And I feel like everyone can relate to that, and you probably can.
Sure. Oh
also.
my God. Yeah, of course.
So that song kind of goes with your other recent singles, right? The kind of sound. So is that kind of what listeners can expect from you going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I'm constantly evolving. I am a 21-year-old, so you know, it's like one day I like wearing pink, and the next day, no. I guess I'm a little bit over that. Probably not. Whatever. I'm gonna stop. Anyhow, enough rambling. I think that it's definitely in the same line as what I've put out, but it just continues to progress. And I think that's, I'm very much so like a storyteller. So it really just kind of grows with like my life and what I've gone through and, like what I'm experiencing now. And it just kind of like grows on that and expands.
Definitely. And aside from music, I know you're super interested in fashion, and the two kind of really go hand in hand. So why is that relationship so important, do you think?
Oh my God. I mean, I think music and fashion are both a means of self-expression, and that's so important. And I've just always seen it as an art form. And so I think that it's just as much of my identity as music is, and they definitely go in hand. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like there's got like so many artists, like Shania, you were talking about her style,
Iconic.
Yes. Is there anyone else that you kind of see like that also?
I mean, like musically or fashion?
I guess like just with really good personal style. Like
I mean, Grace Kelly, Audrey Hepburn. I love like classics.
Yes.
Like I think that's, there's something, and it's coming back, like Diana, like bike shorts are back.
Oh my God, don't get me started on the bike shorts.
And I think that, a lot of that is just influenced by these like fashion icons.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what's kind of next for you for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, I'll be just working on music. I'm just working really hard in the studio and just really having a lot of fun writing and being a 21-year-old and figuring that out and putting it on a pen and paper. So.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us, Abby.
Thank you for having me.
And guys, for more on Abby and your other favorite country artists, make sure to check out PopCulture.com.